everybody! Sophie and I are sat just having a chat about some of our Q1 bears that we're actually going to be showing you today. Really excited. I've already had the launch video, so I know you've all had a sneak peek, you kind of know what to expect. But what Sophie and I both really wanted to do with this is just point out a few extra little details or features, or I'm sure you're still going to have some questions.
Definitely.
On me. And what we're going to do. Sorry, Puddle keeps trying to steal my water. Let me just move that. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully a really fun afternoon. You're going to find out a few more little bits about bears, which is going to help you with your pre-ordering and finding out which characters you want to add to your hug. Now, Q1, we've actually only got 7 little characters to talk about because obviously we've launched late, later than what we normally do in the year. And of course, these bears that you're going to meet in a minute are all currently in production. So we'll be appearing on QVC, TBSN, all our stockists. You know, these are the ones out of the whole year's collection that you're going to see first. So where should we start?
I think we should start with our Bearhouse collection.
Me too, absolutely. So woolly rhino or cave bear?
Cave.
I know, this is one of your favourites. So just so you can actually see how big Cave is, look at him here, you can see how big he is next to me. Normally I'm like a human bear paw ruler, Sophie, as you know. We're a similar sort of height, you are slightly taller than me. So you can see next to me how big Cave really is. Now, he's suitable for collectors 18 months and above. Normally that's because we've got the accessories and they're machine washable, which I love because there's no joints in any of our Bearhouse's collection, any of the characters that we do. They're great for adventures if they do get a little muddy because they've been puddle splashing or they've got a little bit of jam on from their picnic that they've been to. They easily go in the washing machine and you won't lose any of the detailing. Like all of the rest of the collections that you'll see here, wherever you see a fabric change, a colour, that is actually a separate piece of fabric. So we don't skimp on fabrics, even though it's in our Bearhouse collection. The only thing, like I say, that is different, that sets these apart from any other collection that we do, is that they're unjointed. Now, I love Cave Bear, obviously one of the first bears ever in existence, a cave bear. Short-nosed cave bear it is actually, and we've called him Cave because that's where he used to live, and that was his name. He was a short-nosed cave bear. Loving the fabric on this, I know you do too.
Yes, very soft.
It's incredibly soft, and it's got that sort of shimmer that runs right the way through it. So, you know, it's just so lifelike and you know, sort of great to have. I love his little expression. I'll try and hold his face up a little longer so you can see him.
Oh.
Absolutely stunning. He's got that really cubby look, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's Cave Bear. We don't want to spend too long on each character, do we? Because
Well.
we've got loads to get through. So I'm now going to pick up Stompy. Can you guess what kind of character this is?
It's a woolly rhino.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Now, nothing like rhinos you see today, which are very smooth skinned. Back then, you've got to remember, we're talking Ice Age, we're talking really cold. We'd be no good there, would we, without our hot water bottles? So, of course, they have this much thicker coat. We've obviously added on his little tusks, and again, lots of facial sculpture in there. It was, you know, great being able to try and create all of these because we had quite a lot of artistic license with them because obviously they're not around anymore. So we had to just go off old illustrations, pictures, things like that. So super cool. Again, in Q1, so some of the first characters we're going to be creating. He's called Stompy because he's got big heavy feet. In fact, I think William named this one Stompy. The ones that have normally got the funny names are normally the ones Will names, as you know. But yeah, another really gorgeous little character.
And why did you choose prehistoric animals for the Bearhouse?
But you know, we like to be really experimental with the Bearhouse, and often when we're creating new characters, you'll see that we trial them in this range, because this range has always been the range where we've had a little bit more license to play with. You know, they're not traditional, they're something a little different. Just seeing what kind of a reaction we get to it. We've had so many name suggestions and design ideas for dinosaurs and things like that, and we thought, do you know what? Last year was endangered. This year it's extinct. The collection's all about time. So why don't we start right back at the beginning when the first sort of animals were out there? And that's why we decided to go with this. But I don't regret it. I think it's been fascinating to work on. But yeah, that's our Stompy.
Woolly rhino.
Pop it back up there. So where else would you like to go next, Sophie?
I think we should go with the year bear next. Plush.
The Plush year bear. Now, obviously, this is always one of the first bears that we create every year.
Yep.
Because it's the Charlie year bear. Just pop her on there and Magda and Sam can get a nice close-up of her little face. Now, again, she's changed. She magically metamorphosises every year, a little bit like Doctor Who. We never really wanted to retire the name Charlie, obviously. You know, it's tough. I don't want to do that. So we thought, well, she's going to have to magically sort of metamorphosise. So hence there's doing a different colour, different style every year. Let's turn her head so you can see her. Really full face this year. I've used an extremely long, dense pile. I love this little crimping effect. Sort of show my age. I used to crimp my hair. Didn't look anything like this, but used to love playing around with that. But again, the colours. Anybody out there knows I'm a pastels girl at heart. So, you know, we've got these really soft, beautiful sort of ballyhoo pinks, little cloud whites. Again, she's got signature eye whites in there, her Who Me look, as we call it, Charlie Bears. She's got the extra airbrushing there and tickly toe detailing, something which I absolutely adore. So actually the 15th one, this is the 15th time she's changed. So quite a milestone for this particular little bear character.
And we have one every year?
Every single year without fail. Now, we don't put a date on it, but it is on her certificate. So it will tell you it's hug number 15. Hug number is the 15th one we've done, and it's the Charlie year bear. So yeah, like I say, one of the most sought after. There are collectors out there who only collect the year bear, you know, focusing on one particular character, and it's the Charlie year bear. So often the first to sell out as well. But a joy every year. It's always one that tugs on my heartstrings. You know, I don't have favourites.
Are you sure?
I don't have favourites. I like all of them for different reasons, but I do obviously sort of gravitate towards a particular kind of look, have a look at what's gone in the past, what we're planning in the future, because obviously we work so far ahead.
Yeah.
That it's nice to be able to do that. So who's next, do you think?
I think if we're sticking with Plush, I think it should be clotted cream for that one.
So do I. Absolutely beautiful. Do you like the colour on that one?
I love yellow, actually. Yellow is one of my favourite colours. So I love, and it's obviously apt for the name as well, clotted cream.
Clotted cream.
And it's got a nice matching bow with the colour on that one. Is that satin?
It is. It's like an organza that we use. And it's really nice. I love the fact that it's slightly opaque. You can still see through it. It's lovely and light, so it doesn't overpower Bear.
Yeah.
But he's got this lovely, you know, we've been very generous with the ribbon length on that, so he's got this lovely full bow as his accessory.
Good, nice and soft as well, and a nice size, I think, too.
So do I. And kitten weighted. Now, everybody always giggles about this, and they always ask me if this is true, but when Will and I first got married, we had a little kitten called Maher, and Maher used to love to jump on the side while William was baking and cooking and things like that. And when we first got her, we used to weigh her in the scale. She used to like to sit in the little kitchen scales. Yeah. We took a measurement of her weight, and anything we ever talk about going forward that's kitten weighted, normally in the little smaller bears that we do, is actually the size of what Maher was, her weight at that time.
So it's Maher weight.
It is, it is, absolutely. Kitten weighted. But there's something about little puppies and kittens, and when they're little, you don't know why, but you can't put them down, and it's the weight, the way they feel, how it makes you feel. They're tiny, they're fragile, they need looking after.
Very much like a Charlie bear.
Yeah, very much like one of our little Charlie bears. Yeah, so I think, you know, really, really nice. And of course, he's part of a little set of 4 little mini-series, and we're going to meet his little brothers and sisters in quarter 2, 3 and 4 videos.
Ooh, all of them. Nice, exciting. Pop that one back. Chantilly next?
Why not? No, I know you love these. In the launch video, you went straight for Frosty, didn't you?
Yeah,
Biggie.
yeah. I like anything with like an outfit that's removable, just because I think they're just so like quirky and different from the other bears. They really stand out. Like this one's hat.
You probably, I don't know, did you do this? When I was little, I always remember Mum, when she was preparing veg, especially the carrots, we used to cut the top of it and we used to pop them in saucers of water, and then they would sprout and grow, and you almost feel like you were growing your own little piece of veg.
We never did that.
It never really lasted that long. I'm probably showing my age now, but I'm sure there's lots of you out there who used to do exactly the same. And it was really funny when we were designing this, we were thinking about how we could, you know, give it this sort of nostalgic feel. And I always remember putting the carrot tops on the windowsill in the saucer of water. I'm sure William used to do that as well. But yeah, it was always a bit of fun. Get us used to eating veg and being playful and learning about it. You know, it's always a way of sort of my mum and dad, I suppose, being able to teach us about things like that. But super cool.
Super quirky. Love it.
Absolutely. A little bit different. The outfits do all come off so that you have just got your little bear underneath. And then there's oodles of our wonderful collectors who love to dress and redress, and please do be playful. You know, this is your bear. We just wanted to provide you with a little outfit for him. But I love the Veggie Plot series this year.
Maybe this is his harvest time outfit. Every time it's harvest, you put the outfit on.
And don't forget, in America for Halloween, it's not like Halloween in the UK where everything's got to be spooky and scary, and you can be anything you want to, just costumed.
Yes.
So I think the costume set are great for that.
Very much. Pop him back. Oh. There you go. He was waiting to sprout a new,
I think he is.
Carrot there.
That's it. He's popping his hat in a saucer of water. Definitely. So just 2 more to go. So if you don't mind, can I do the Charlie Mohair? Yeah. And then I'll let you do the masterpiece. Charlie Mohair Year Bear. Oh. Now, we were saying this was the 15th.
Yeah.
This is actually the 10th hug that we've done. So there's been 10 different...
Decade.
I know, right? A long time, a whole decade of this, which is great. And again, like with the Plush, we like to be playful with all the fabrics, all the colours when we get them through and we're designing the Isabel collection. You know, Isabel and I do sit down and go through what colours we're going to use and which are our favourites and what we want to play around with. The Year Bear, again, is something that I would collect. It's the way that I see, my choice, my pick, so to speak. Doesn't mean to say it's my favourite. Just want to clarify that. It's just the one that I choose to almost be like the signature piece within that collection, like Isabel does the same. So yes, this is obviously our 2023 Mohair Year Bear. We have been really, really playful with the colours. Lots of different colours that run through the head there. Very subtle. Obviously, once you get home, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And again, she's got all of these beautiful, beautiful details in there. We've got our Who Me look. We've got our hand embroidered nose. We've got a little bit of airbrushing and waxing to the top of her nose there as well. And this year, I'm sorry, I kept apologising last year for having to change accessories. Sometimes we design so far in advance the accessories that we use are not always available. So what we've tried to do this year to limit the amount of small changes that we're having to do is try and create some of our own. So in this case, we have a bejewelled key. Now obviously the little gems, the little beads, all placed onto jewellery wire and then wound round and round and round the key. Very time consuming, but
that must take so long to make.
It can do, because they all obviously have to be threaded on first. These are teeny weeny tiny, and then all applied to the little key with her little shoe string necklace there as well. And of course the beautiful antique lace, which again, hand collared. So you can see there's so much work goes into it. But she's so worth it.
Definitely.
Absolutely beautiful.
And number 10.
I know, can you believe the 10th one in the collection? I know. And I believe limited to 400 pieces. So this is actually the highest limit that we've got in the Isabel collection this year. But we do that with the Year Bear because, like the Plush Year Bear, it's one of the most sought after, and we want to try and make it accessible for collectors without it being too highly limited. So the one that we've created the most of. Right, so last but definitely not least, the Isabel masterpiece. Can I steal your book
Yeah,
one
go
second?
for it.
I just
I
want
feel
to
like it's
absolutely
gonna go
triple check my figures on this because I know we changed it. So let me just double
Absolutely
check.
gorgeous.
What is it about the Isabel masterpiece that you love so far?
I quite like the flowers because I believe you said they were handmade. So I just love the detail that's gone into it, and the ruff as well around her neck, the lace ruff. Is that what you'd call it?
It
the lace
is.
ruff.
Yeah.
And then you've got the beautiful waxed nose as well, with, like you said, the airbrushing here, and just the expression. She's just gorgeous. I feel like it's giving me very much like like almost fairy garden vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a proper little flower fairy, isn't she?
Definitely.
I love that. I love the different little lengths as well that we've used with little buds and things on there. It always amazes me. Obviously, every year I say to Isabel, design something that you would really like to see in the collection. And it doesn't matter how varied, how different. I mean, crikey, we've had some tall, we've had smaller, all sorts of different looks that she's given them in the past, but she always tends to gravitate towards this little flower fairy. I think she's a flower fairy at heart.
Oh.
Absolutely, she's got that soul, she absolutely adores her flowers. So talented at creating these, as well. It is limited to 350. I think originally we were going to do 325, and then we figured out we could make that additional 25. So she is limited to 350 and a blend of mohair and alpaca. So the alpaca is actually around her sculpture paws there. You can see also on her little face. Absolutely stunning. Love the colour on that as well. She's beautiful, isn't it?
I love her.
350 in the world. Oh, I know. So that, I believe, Sophie, is everything for quarter 1. Say 7 different characters. Because we've got a short quarter, because we launched late, we didn't want to try and overdo it at the start of the year. We needed to have enough production time to be able to create everything that you can see in time for this. So all of these will be out soon, if not already out. Fingers crossed.
Paws crossed.
I have paws crossed. Absolutely. So that's quarter 1. So we'll just pop off and rearrange, and then should we come back and talk about quarter 2?
Yes, lots of bear friends I'm excited about.
See you soon. Hi everyone, so we're back with our quarter 2 production. So this means that these characters are coming out really soon. They're going to be manufactured and made from sort of mid-March right the way through to June. So like I say, we'll be appearing on QVC, TVSN, good old time shows, out with stockists everywhere. It's really, really exciting. Now there's a few more in quarter 2.
Just a few.
Than there was in quarter 1, because obviously we've found our feet now, and hopefully all of the quarter 1's been made, so we just let rip. Lots of different characters from all of the different collections that we're dealing with. So, should we start with Bearhouse?
Yes.
Which one do you want to talk about?
Oh, probably this guy here.
Tardy. Do you mind if I just grab Mighty then? Oh, reach over. Bearhouse characters. I know. Part of our extinct range, our prehistoric range. So you've got the ground sloth there.
Yeah.
And he's called tardy because he's still slow, even though he's a ground sloth, and being tardy means to be a little late. Takes his time, look.
He's waving.
Gorgeous. You can't help but be playful with the Bearhouse characters, can you? I know whenever Will's presenting one, he's always the same. They're just really fun to play with.
And squishy.
Oh, he is.
And you said this one has wires?
It does. It's got slight wiring in his claws, so you can manipulate them, sort of giving this sort of hook look. Obviously, with the sloths, the ground sloths, even though they didn't climb trees at that point, still had the claw detailing, which I just find incredible. I mean, nowadays it's used so that they can really cling on. They're like talons, aren't they? But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. But just another little detail we wanted to put in there. Definitely. And then we've got Mighty, our woolly mammoth. Now, we did a little woolly mammoth kind of take on a woolly mammoth in the form of Edgar last year. I mean, our collectors absolutely loved it. We get asked for this all the time. We've got lots of elephant and mammoth collectors out there. So we're thrilled to bits to be able to bring Mighty into this collection. Again, I love this fabric. It kind of looks old, and if you just think he's back in the Ice Age with this lovely dense thick coat that he's got, absolutely beautiful. And of course the little tusks that we've done as well, because of course every woolly mammoth has tusks, doesn't he? So couldn't wait to do that. Again, unjointed, no accessories. You'll notice on a lot of the Bearhouse this year, because we just didn't feel that they needed it.
Yeah.
You know, they were just better on their own without ribbons and bows and bells and beads and keys and everything else that we do. So yeah, that's Mighty.
I like his feet.
I know. And bean-filled as well, so he's got this lovely heavy feel to his paws. So Mighty, I'm going to pop him back up there.
Party back.
Hopefully he won't wobble. And then watch him fall over and knock everything else over now. So who do you want to talk about next? Should we go on to Plush?
Yes.
We could definitely go on to Plush. I'm going to pick the big one next to me, only because Anita's teetering on the edge here. I don't want her to fall now either. So I know lots of our collectors are going to absolutely love Anita and Annette that we've brought out. She's coming out later in the year. Beautiful colourways, pale pink, these gorgeous sky blues. You can see she's a big old bear. You definitely know that you've got a sat on your knee. Anybody in the past that collected bears, like Helter Skelter was one where we used this colour combination. Lots of pinks and blues seem to be firm favourites. Sorry, I put my teeth back in. From the collections. And again, these bigger bears, absolutely gorgeous. So she's coming out Q2. Hopefully you've had a long enough sneaky peek.
I feel like her bow has ribbon. Does that go in and out as well?
It does indeed. So normally in the past we would have just applied one ribbon, but then we thought, how can we make that look a little different?
Yeah.
We've been trying to be really playful with the accessories this year. So there's lots of little ribbons within a ribbon. But yes, that's all done in factory like the flowers are and everything else. So it does take a little longer, but I just think again adds another dimension. So that's little Anita there. So I know. There's going to be lots of collectors that are screaming at the telly now going, oh my gosh, you did it, Kevin. We've been promising to do it for a while. There are lots of our bear collectors' husbands and partners called Kevin. I know lots of collectors collect, not just because of the bear, but sometimes because of their names. I love the fact that that's how you would focus in on your collection.
Yeah.
To have every member of your family have a bear after them, and then that's the little hug.
Do you like a bear family photo?
That's it. Yeah, a beary portrait, which is great. And again, beautiful printed fabric that we've used on this, and you can see all of the different little colours wherever there's a colour change. You know, they are separate pieces of fabric, and again it's got this lustre to the fabric, which I really love. Of course he's got his tickly paw detailing there, and on here a little heart and a little organza ribbon, so you can see the size of him. Really gorgeous. Love these what I call tree bark browns. Different, you know, when you go on autumn walks and you see all of the different colours, the oranges and yellows and the browns and everything. So yeah, that's little Kevin.
And he has a sibling coming up, doesn't he?
He does indeed.
Yeah.
Connor. I'll sit him up there. Now in the launch video, Will asked me a really funny question. Well, I knew he was going to throw some questions at me, but he did say, which was your favourite mini-series? And I said, oh, I can't choose. But the one that I really enjoyed working on was our little moon range. Yeah. So this is Little Blue Moon, part of that range. We have Harvest Moon, Rose Moon and Blue Moon. All of these different coloured blues that we've used. These pale sort of aquas through to these gorgeous sort of what I call peacock blues. Really different. And again, we've simplified the accessory because there's just so much fluff. You know, we didn't want anything else to get lost. She does have her tickly toe detailing for all the collectors out there that love that design feature that we put on there. And she's also got her little Who Me look. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Part of a little set of 3, as we said, that are coming out in different quarters. So if you're focusing in, like I do, on a particular kind of bear that you like, it's easy to sort of save your bear tokens up to buy one each time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be nice that they're spread over sort of a 9-month period, the 3 of them, which is really cool. So that's Blue Moon. So who have you got near you?
Mohair we have near me, and we have one of my other, not that I have a favourite. I keep saying they're my favourite. I think everything is my favourite. But I do love the clowns because I believe this one in particular has 2 other siblings with them, and it's fabric from, isn't it?
Well, shouldn't be saying names, should we? But I should think that, yeah, there are lots of fashion houses out there that use this kind of fabrics. I know that there's loads and loads and loads of suits and things that you'll see. And in fact, the funny story I'm sure William would ever tell is that we went to a trade show once, and there was a lady that turned up in a gilet, and we had a bear that actually matched her little gilet, which was just incredible. So yeah, we do visit a lot of the fashion houses. We get overruns of their fabric, and with those fabrics, it means that we can create these gorgeous sort of almost one-off designs that we do. So happenstance, serendipity, and Lady Luck. What's the name of that one that you've got?
That one,
there?
I'm definitely not cheating. It's happenstance.
3 different colourways, and limited, I believe, to roughly, I think it's 200. So it's probably not got its little cert on there. From memory, it's 200.
Yeah.
So very low limit of what we've got. But again, we've been playful with all different materials in the Isabel collection over the last few years. It's not just alpaca and mohair that we've used. We've tried wool blends, and we've used some plush fabrics, and you know, because to me a limited edition bear doesn't just have to be mohair or alpaca. It can be anything. You know, there are only that many in the world, and I think she's exquisite. I don't want to bypass the opportunity to use these fabulous fabrics in that collection. So like I say, we're always being playful.
Love it.
Really, really, really.
And playful with a clown.
I know.
So.
I know, absolutely.
Pop you back down there. And then we have, now, I always struggle to pronounce.
Is this Greenwich?
Greenwich. I'm like, Greenwich? Greenwich?
So you know we've got 2 little bear partners here. We've got Beaufort, which is actually the measure of wind scale, and Greenwich, you've heard of Greenwich Mean Time, which is why we did this in the Time collection. What is it about Greenwich that you really, really liked?
I like the different colours in it, because it's not, you could have just gone with just green, but you've gone with different shades of green, and you've got this kind of like, is it kind of browny colour to go with it as well?
Yeah.
It just makes it all one beautiful piece, I think. And the ribbon isn't organza. I don't know what.
No, I know, it's amazing. It's kind of got this Hessian look to it.
Yeah.
It's still quite sheer, but really, really beautiful. And what I like about it, it's almost like this wired ribbon, so it stands, you know, when you bow it and you actually tie it in the way that creates the bow, it's then got quite a lot of structure to it.
Yeah.
So it feels super cool. And I like his other little accessory there as well.
Just going to say, that's like got a cogwheel in it. And like, oh, it's on the love heart.
It is.
Oh,
it is
so
indeed.
cool.
Like I said, we've been creating a lot of these accessories ourselves in the factory, so they do take time. But it's just something that is a little different. You'll notice a lot of little cogs and sort of inner workings of little clocks and machinery bits and all sorts of things that we've put onto the accessories this year because of the time thing. You know, I'm like clocks, watches, anything like that. We love all of those little bits, and we really wanted to make them stand out and just feel a little bit different. So there's another mohair piece. So I know at some point I'm going to forget to talk about Chrissy, because she sat down here on her own, here in her little Uber ride look. She's bringing, this is William's little cart that I bought him quite a few years ago, and we thought this was the perfect year to wheel it out. I think Puddle would be able to get on there, but yeah, I think it's a little small for both of us now. But again, another bear with this lovely, lovely long pal fabric that we've used. It's got a slight curl in there, almost a crimp. Absolutely love the colour. This dove grey. Obviously, a lot of the fabrics that we use are following fashion trends that are coming out, whether it's interior or clothing, things like that. And you'll still see there's an awful lot of base greys that people are still painting their walls grey, and it's still out there as far as interior design works. It's sort of become almost a classic colour now. So we do like to play around with these. You know, we don't always have to just do brown bears, you know, sort of magnolia coloured creams and things like that. So the greys have featured over the last few years quite often in the collection.
But it's nice that you've got the colour in the bow there, the pink, so it
absolutely having something that just really stands out. And again, when you look at the accessory, we've got a little ribbon rose. Now, I've been to the factory recently, and we actually took a little bit of footage of one of these being made. We will get you, Sophie, to maybe pop that on TikTok at some point in time, but it's you were amazed at how long it took to create one rose, weren't you?
I don't know how they do it. I just don't know. It must take them years.
I think they could gradually speed up the more you make. But yes, it's just lovely that everything we do is handcrafted. Again, she's got a signature eye white, so it really makes her little face stand out there, look. And the little airbrushing. It's all grey on grey on grey. It's all these subtle greys that we've used. Really, really exquisite. Very pretty. And again, tickly toe detailing. She does have a little partner called Charmaine that we're going to meet in another video that we're doing, but absolutely exquisite. So anybody who's got one of those kind of houses that you've painted grey and maybe you want something for your guest bedroom, it's very feminine, very, very beautiful. Love doing these ones. I'll just sit back down there on a ride, look. Absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely one on my wish list for Will to look at for me.
But not your favourite?
Not my favourite, no. Definitely not my favourite. I can't say that. Can't say that. So, who else are we going to have a look at?
Oh, I think this one should be next.
Oh.
Lovely Shakespeare.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
I love it. I like writing and reading and everything like that. So Shakespeare and their sibling, I believe, is Tolkien.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And that's lovely because you would focus your collection in maybe on the authors.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Because I think we have Bronte as well.
We do.
Yeah, so I clocked that because I was like the sisters.
Definitely. And what I love about this is kind of a traditional panda, but it's in these beautiful sort of honey tones, almost mustards, aren't they?
Yeah. And I like the lace ruff. I feel like that really suits like Shakespearean times.
It's kind of that period, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. And obviously the little tie that we've got there at the front as well, fabric. You know, it's beautiful with little bead accessories on there too. And if you look on his nose, it's almost a full waxed nose.
I love that in the bears when they have almost like that full wax nose. I don't know why, it just makes them have like a different personality to them.
It does indeed. Again, it's this lovely little retro feel that we've got to him. Absolutely exquisite. Like I say, Tolkien's coming out in a different quarter, so we will meet his little pen pal.
Love it.
Maybe in the next video. Absolutely. So I'll reach behind me just so that we've got another one now. Do you know, it's really, really funny when we actually first showed this to all of the bear cubs here when we were choosing new fabrics. See if I can get Sam Magda to get a little close up on this. We found this most amazing fabric, and although it's quite dark, it's intense. You know, when you look at it, it's got this depth, which is just beautiful because it's almost got this jet black, or in this case, midnight blue backing. And then it's got this lovely tipping effect that we've used. So it does look quite dark, but when you get him at home, you will actually notice the colours on this. It's vibrant. I know this is going to sound crazy. Although it's a dark colour, it's actually quite vibrant. Now, we've emphasised the colour with obviously the nose embroidery that we've done and given him a little double bow there, look. So he's got that little flourish going on. But absolutely gorgeous. Another kitten-weighted bear and part of our Planet series. So this one that we're meeting first in quarter 2 is Neptune. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, it's no surprise, we've done 3 characters. I should imagine there might be a few more. A few more coming. But yeah, he's absolutely gorgeous. Pop him back down there. So the next one, because it's almost going to be time for tea.
I see what you did. Yeah. I was a bit slow on that one.
Currant bun. He does look like a little scone, doesn't he? We've been asked we've done lots of puddings, biscuits, cakes and things like that in the past. We couldn't resist this. Little sort of currant buns, toasted tea cakes. You know, we always used to have Nana having them with marmalade, hence the little
I was going to ask why
orange nose. Absolutely. I used to get little parts of what looked like carrot on the top of these little currant buns with your icing and things like that. So we decided we were going to do a little tea time there. His best friend is Chucky Bicky. My best friend too. Absolutely gorgeous. But you can see, I'm trying to put my hands in there so you can actually see how tiny he is. Flat paws, so we'll stand, but he's fully jointed, so he will sit as well. absolutely love this. I love the printed fabric we've got on there. And he does look like a little fruit scone, doesn't he?
Yeah, I like the matching bow and the nose. I love that.
It just really makes the rest of the fabric pop when you have that one colour that you've tied in there. So that's little currant bun. I'll pop him up there. So the next one, she's hiding around the back. I think she's a little bit shy. I'll pass her over because I know that you absolutely adore this one.
Oh, she fell a bit. There you go. I love it because you've got the thumper feet.
Absolutely. Oversized paws.
Yeah. And then that beautiful pink satin organza.
Yes.
And satin?
Yes, a mixture of both.
Mixture of both there. And then, I've just noticed.
The tickly spots on her feet as well.
Floppy ears as well, so not wired, because you've got some other bunnies that have wired ears, but I like that this one's really floppy because you can just...
And again, I think everything on Florin feels oversized, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like she's a tiny little kitten. She's little. She's got to grow into that fur, you know, so everything we've done is too big, you know, a bit like when you get a puppy or a kitten and their paws seem out of scale to the rest of their body, because we know that they've got to have enough fur to grow into. So we tried to do that with this little lop-eared bunny this year.
And does Florin mean flower?
Flower.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Is it Latin?
I believe it is Latin, yes.
Yeah.
We were being really exploratory with the names and tried to come up with some different names to fit in with the collection this year. So you'll notice with the few rabbits that we have done to do with flowers or blossoms or things like that.
That's nice.
But no, absolutely
so where
gorgeous.
does she go?
You can pop her anywhere. Pop it. That's fine. She's going to stay on your knee. Right, I shall reach for another one right now. So when William was asked which was his favourite little bear pairing in the launch video, big love. William will be shouting at the screen right now going, oh, I love that mouse. Again, flat paw pads, so he will stand. You can see the size of him here. Two little characters, both named after cheese.
Yeah.
So we have Cheddar and Yarg. Yarg we're going to meet in a while. But again, beautiful size, kitten weight. Love the colours. It's sort of like a little town mouse, this, isn't it? That sort of colour. Yeah. Really, it's got these lovely sort of buttery tones to it. With the little tail. I love the oversized big ears.
Do they have wires in, or are they?
These ones are not. These ones are actually templated there. So they do stand up. They do have something to help them do that, but they're not wired. But absolutely gorgeous. And again, it's got this lovely, simple organza ribbon on there, which I absolutely love these ribbons that we use.
And he's got that gold thread in the nose as well.
Has a little overstitching there on his nose that you can see. And again, just little tiny details that you don't always notice straight away. But he's absolutely exquisite. I love the weight of this one. You know, definitely one that can sit on a bigger bear's knee. Definitely. So if you're getting to that stage like me, you're running out of room and there's only so many shelves I can get wheels above. I've got to find a different way of displaying more bears.
So we'll be seeing smaller bears in the future.
Bears.
Smaller and smaller.
They'll be coming down where this is Bear's Bear. Yeah. But no, we've always said at Charlie Bears there's always room for one more bear, and that's exactly how you do that. So no, that's fine. So is there anybody else at your side that you'd like to... Who haven't we met yet?
We haven't met our puppy.
We haven't met the puppies yet, have we?
This is Faffing.
Oh, how gorgeous are these?
And that one, is that a waxed nose on there, or...?
It is. It's got a slight waxing on top of the embroidery thread that we've used.
And I love the jewels in the scarf. Would you call that a scarf or a bow? It is,
yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. It's the fabrics that we've used as well, that colour combination, which again, I think it really makes him stand out.
And it's got that nice Mia weight.
That's it, even though he's a puppy.
Yeah.
And quite bean-filled, so he's got, like you say, that lovely weight. I know, wired ears. And a slight bean-filled in the ends as well, so it gives it that lovely... He can look all windswept, like he's running on the beach.
He's in a wind tunnel, there you go.
That's it. But lovely that it's playful. You can give him his own look. You know, you can put different little moods by changing his ear placements, which I think is really, really nice.
He's sleepy at the moment.
Yeah, really, really beautiful. And does have a little friend, obviously, called Toto. They do like to be playful, often a little forgetful of time, hence their names. But yeah, I think they're lovely. So who else have you got round there?
I think, do I go for the Hatties? Yeah, let's go for a Hattie. One of my, not favourites, but favourites.
It's hard to choose, isn't it? When you see the beauty in each piece, you'll start to get asked this a lot, which is your favourite? And you think, I can't actually.
It's like asking to choose a favourite child, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't do that.
But yeah, this one is Miss Earhart. She's just checking. And it's got a beautiful scarf she has for this one, and named after the explorer and writer, American explorer.
Yeah, it was Amelia Earhart,
Yeah.
wasn't it? So, yeah, she was a female aviator.
Oh,
Absolutely gorgeous. And I love the style hat that we've got on this, that knitted sort of feel to it. But it's also got, it's just the colours in it and the way that we striped it and being very playful. And she's got this lovely twist to her fur as well. It's almost like a curl that's in there, so quite short. And all your silk embroidery thread at the bottom that have created the tassels. You know, there's literally no expense spared on these designs. They are absolutely exquisite. It's like the finest fabrics that we've used. You know, they're just truly, truly beautiful.
And what fabric is the hat and the scarf?
It's a knitted fabric that we've used so that we can add lots of different colours and textures into there. And it's lovely. It's amazing the amount of patterning and things that you can create with this. It's no longer just a one colour knit fabric that we use. We can actually start designing the patterns so that they can be knitted in to create the kind of looks that you want. So really, really nice. Extra beadwork on there too.
And would
So
you
she's
ever
absolutely gorgeous.
consider making matching hats and scarves so we can match with our bears?
I would love to do that. We should so do that, shouldn't we? I know there's been quite a few of our Hattie series which have been desperate to get hold of their hats. So I'm never going to say never on that, because I know we'd definitely get one, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I definitely would. Especially that.
Definitely. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. So the next one I think I'm going to grab here, only because we actually spoke about Chantenay earlier. This is her little friend, Lancer. So parsnip, love these. I remember the first time we were doodling and trying to get these sorted out, and Alison and I were having a bit of a giggle about it and what were we going to do with all of the different veggies and how could we make them look different. And it was just these little suits. It's like the first time we did balsam and tokens in their little suits as well, you know. Just make me smile. I just absolutely love it. But please don't worry, you don't have to keep him with his hat on. He's a proper little bear under there, look. Absolutely gorgeous. And he suits Velcro, so it comes off. So you've got your own little bear to dress. I love the fact that we've done this little veggie series. I think it was just really nice to focus in on. Lovely that we're getting the bears out in the garden. I know Magda had huge fun photographing these in the veg plot. The lifestyle shots we've got for these were just incredible.
They're amazing, yeah.
But fun. As we see more and more collectors out taking shots with the bears, it's just really nice to see where they all end up and look at all of the different photos. But just a lovely little small collection, you know, to sort of home in on, focus in on, and especially if you like dressing and redressing your bears, which I would have done when I was little. I absolutely would have done that. So we decided to create this set. Absolutely exquisite. So that's number 2 out of the veggie plots. We've met the carrot and the parsnip. So
And how many more left?
2 more to go. 2 more. Right, I'm just seeing who else I've got here now. We have got our party girl set.
What kind of party?
That's it. Now this particular one is garden party. Now she does have 2 little friends, different colourways that we've used. Again, it's these beautiful, beautiful soft pastel tones. Just try and put it there so you can see her. Gorgeous sort of, it's like a very sky blue. You would imagine sky blue when you were little painting in the sky. She's very much sky blue. You can see the colour next to Blue Moon, very, very pale. Might not come across, it's almost like this bluey grey colour that you've got. So we've got garden party, tea party and pyjama party. So,
I think the rose helps, the blue rose helps kind of like accentuate the blue from the grey.
It does. It's very subtle, and I think for any collectors that love their neutrals, So perfect in, can you imagine, guest bedroom, white bedding. There's a little bear sat on your bed to welcome you if you were staying.
Guest bedroom, that's my bedroom.
Absolutely beautiful. And like I say, she's coming out Q2, so she'll be out everywhere before the end of June. So if garden party is your kind of bear, she's coming out very, very soon. Again, you can see the size of hers. I love doing these videos because you can sort of get a scale next to the pair of us, how tall they are. Absolutely how tall they are. So another one, reach back. Ooh. Oh, I'm going to hand you Tusk. Because I know that you really, really liked this little woolly mammoth too, didn't you?
Nice weight to it as well.
Yeah. Heavier than what you expect.
Yes, definitely. And not part of the Bearhouse range though, no. So this one can't be machine washed. No. But no, I love the expression on this one because it's not sorrowful. It's more like, you know, like bright-eyed kind of like youthful expression. And you've got this long fur here, and then it's kind of got the same as, is it Stompy?
That's right, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. It
Absolutely
looks like it's got a nice little hairdo as well.
And we've used different pile lengths in Little Tusk so that you can really see his little toes and his little paws and obviously his ears. But just absolutely gorgeous. Again, plenty of shaping going on in there. So, you know, with sculpturing to its fullest and that's to create that kind of look and that nose shape and things like that. I think it's a lot of fun. Again, makes me smile. Everybody absolutely adored Edgar last year, so we knew we had to bring Tusk out. A little bit magical.
Definitely.
And perfect for this year's collection, which is all about time. So, another magical character. Let me just reach up. There we go. Get down. This is Swish. Actually named by one of our youngest collectors, Rhea, who came up with the name for Swish. Absolutely loved that name because apparently that's what how you describe a unicorn when it's wafting its tail. It's a swish. So when she saw this, she just thought it was incredible. Really nice. Now, we've done a unicorn in the past. Actually, a couple. We had Huddle as one of our best friend club pieces. And then, obviously, we had a unicorn, Una, which was part of our Queen's Beast. Yeah. But we have been asked and asked and asked to bring one into the Plush collection. So this year, we decided it was the right time to do this. She's got a slight curvature, you can see there against my jeans look, so she will sit perfectly on bookcase and shelves. She can cross her legs for story time look. Absolutely loves it. And again, the fabric is lovely, thick, soft fabric that we've used in there. Perfect on any bedside table, bookshelf. It's really magical. I always wanted a unicorn when I was little. What
would you call the type of like fabric? Is that like a ruffling or? Like
it is. It's kind of, when you see it, it's sort of, it feels, what's the word I can use? A bit like, I'm showing my age again, it's a bit like a little rah-rah skirt, so it's almost layered, the plush as it comes down. Absolutely gorgeous, and depending on which way you cut the plush, you get a different feel and look for it. So yes, it is. She's got extra piece of fabric, giving her little fluffy slippers. And love this, that she's in this sort of cloud white, as I always call it. It's not a brilliant white, it's a cloud white. But really, really nice. And again, I think is going to be really, really popular with collectors. You know, any little girl out there, me included, still love my unicorns. I'd definitely be putting this one on my wish list. Definitely. I'll just sit her back down there. So who else have we got over there, Sophie, that we haven't spoken about yet?
We have this guy. I believe we haven't spoken about Daybreak yet. And he's struggling to get off. There you go. So this is Daybreak, and this has two other siblings.
It does indeed.
And they're all coloured to the times of the day, so it links in with our clock tower and time theme. So this one is the colour of Daybreak, and I really, really like this one. I just love the shaping of this one, and then that gorgeous pink bow to match again with the time of the day, so you've got the different colours in there.
We have indeed.
What do you like about this one?
Oh, I just love playing with this range because we always have, when we're taking photographs, there's always what we call a golden hour where the sun just hits right.
Yes.
And especially when you do it taking the lifestyle shots and it's outside, it is quite a magical hour because the light changes. And we were talking about this when we were doing research for the collection and saying, you know, there's so many different times of the day. There's not just midday and noon and midnight and afternoon and breakfast time. And, you know, there's all of these different other things that come into play. Like you have daybreak, you have sunset, you've got twilight. Everything's got its own little special time. So that's why we did that. And again, a substantial bear. Really, really, really beautiful. Nice and bright. You know, I love, like you said, the shape of him. He's quite traditional in style. It's just the fabrics that we've used that have made him look a little different from a traditional
I think he's bigger than I thought he would be as well. When I saw him in the catalogue and I saw him here, I was like, oh, he's actually quite big. So if you were, against me and then against Tardy, kind of similar.
It is.
Definitely.
It is. And again, we're bringing those out in different quarters. So anybody who likes that, who likes our little time, our daytime sort of series, then perfect. Absolutely perfect. So let's find another bear to talk about. I will bring the last one that's hiding behind me here. Oh, I know, right? Now, these are incredible. We actually, when we were on our factory visit, we were there on the sewing line watching these being created.
I thought you were going to say you've made them, like physically.
We were all sat there. There was James, Will and myself all sat on that sewing line, just watching every single one being created. Now, the amount of work that goes into this, Sophie, I cannot even begin to tell you. Every time you see a colour change on this, and you can see very, very vibrant, lots of different colours. Each one is a separate pattern piece. So when you look at the ear, this is a different pattern piece to this one, to this one, to this one. There's actually over 64 different pattern pieces in this particular little bear. Now, we've done 3 colours for this. The first that we're bringing out is Carnival.
Puddles,
which is I know, Puddles barking. Sorry, everybody. He's just getting really excited. I think he's after a bowl of water.
Yeah. Puddles doesn't have a favourite bear, but if he did...
it could possibly be Carnival. So there's 3 in this little series, all of these beautiful patchwork bears that you're seeing. We've got this one, which is Carnival. We've got the greener shades that you're going to meet in the next collection, Shindig. And then, of course, we've got Anniversary. Absolutely beautiful. You can see the size of her and the amount of love and care and attention that just... I mean, it goes into every bear, but especially where we've got more pattern pieces, it really does take a while to create these. They are quite complex, but so worth it. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll sit her back. I'm going to pop her on the floor there in front. Now, was there anybody else that we've missed out over there?
Yes, we have. He's kind of hiding away over here. But I believe this one is, she's double checking, Cogwheel. This one. So, like the name, it's got a cogwheel as an accessory here. And that's not going to change, is it? No.
Absolutely not. Something that we've created in the factory, so we should be able to continue
See if I
with
can
all
show
of
you.
these accessories.
There you go.
They're very heavily detailed, aren't they?
Yeah, lots of different colours in there that you don't expect until you're up close with it, like I am. Like, so many different shades. I don't really know what to call them all.
I know, and I think it's got that nice base. There's a beautiful base colour, and then there's lots of different tipping that we've used. Now, it is quite a sparse mohair that we've used. When I talk about sparse, we're talking about the density of the mohair. So, you know, on some like the alpaca, like you see on faffing, it's very thick and very dense, so you don't see an awful lot of the backing. On the sparser mohair that you see, you will see the backing. Now, this isn't a fault. I know in the past some people have sort of said, you know, they've sent me emails and said, is this right, Charlie? It absolutely is. It's just the sparsity of the mohair. I love working with the sparse mohair because, especially when I'm trying to create something that looks very vintage, very retro, you know, bears, years and years and years ago, were all made from the sparse mohair. That's exactly what a traditional bear was like, and you can see over time they get threadbare and worn out, and they need little haphazard stitching and repair detailing and things like that. You know, it's only in more modern days that we started using the thicker, denser fabrics, the plushes and the alpacas and things like that. But he's absolutely gorgeous. A little standalone piece. Absolutely gorgeous.
Waxed nose as well.
Waxed nose as well.
And is that eye whites?
It is our little signature Humi look, and the ribbon as well that's around his neck. Slight wiring in there so that you can manipulate the ribbon and play with the bow, and twist them and things like that. So yeah, they're really, really cool.
Brilliant to have wiring in the ribbon. That's really unique, I think.
Yeah, really, really nice. We haven't used it an awful lot on the bears, but we do use it now. They do use it quite a lot in floristry, you know, when they're trying to create these wonderful glamorous bows, especially obviously when they're creating hats as well. You know, lots of milliners use the wide ribbon, so really, really nice. So who else is round there?
So we have got some more hatties.
Do you want to pass me one and you look at the other one?
There you go, I'll pass you this one. So that one is Orville.
It is indeed.
And this one is Wilbur.
So famous brothers. Anybody who's into their aviation will know all about Orville and Wilbur. They were known as the famous men in their flying machine. So here we go. These were the Wright brothers, first ones. I know.
Wow.
Aviator, massive characters in that world. And again, we couldn't resist. We thought with the Hattie Bears this year, you'll notice there's lots of aviators, explorers, things like that. So both of these are absolutely exquisite. We've got the knitted hats. We know you love your Hattie Bears. I do too. Trying to create something different. So where's the secret wire in this hat?
This bit.
Again, really playful. You can twist and turn it. You can shorten it, lengthen it. Just really nice, isn't it?
And it's got a little gem
It
in the
has
end.
little gem in the bottom. It's almost like a pom-pom detailing. Anybody used to make pom-poms?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got this crocheted sort of a little bell. It's got our own little version of that in there. Say wiring, the glitter strands that run all the way through the knitted fabric, and then again this beautiful embroidery silk which we've used to create these flower details. So you'll see lots of little details on the scarves, on the hat, additional little beads. Again, absolutely gorgeous. Little pandas, slight waxing on the nose there, flat paw pads so they can stand as well as sit. Two different colour combinations that we've used there. So if you're into more of your, both very quite autumnal, I would have said, in colours. Got your beautiful leaf greens and those lovely little tree bark browns. Here we've got more oranges, sort of beiges, taupes, stone colours in there. It's absolutely gorgeous. But again, you can see the embroidery silk that we've used on the bottom for the tassels. Lots of work gone into creating the accessories. Got that extra little bit of sparkle. But they're absolutely superb, aren't they?
I love them. I love a Hattie Bear. I know there are people out there that will collect the Hattie Bears specifically, won't they?
Yeah, I think they've definitely got their own collector base, this little mini-series that we've been doing for a few years now. So we always promise that we should include at least one Hattie Bear every year.
And they have 3 in this quarter.
I know, well, we have in this quarter, haven't we?
Oh, I feel like you want to sit back down, don't you?
It does.
Pop
There
you
we go.
in
That's
there.
the other one.
Thank
So now I think I'm looking back, we've done everything apart from these 2 little Plumo bears here, which I'm going to bring down together again. So that one is Night Owl.
Night Owl.
Just reach Early Bird. So 2 new Plumo characters we were talking about in the launch video. Absolutely love this. I know Plumo is definitely a focus for you with your collecting, isn't it?
Yes, because I think they feel very different to the other. Not too different, but like a lot softer.
Yeah. I think the fabrics that we choose, you know, they're very, very luxurious. And because we're blending this year with alpaca, you can see the different looks. We've got the gorgeous giggler detailing and Little Early Bird. And again, jam-packed with our signature Humi look. It's got the tickly toes. It's got this phenomenal fabric. If you just tickle his head there. Super, super, super soft. So I suppose anybody in the past who bought something like mollycoddle, hackatan would absolutely love the feel of this fabric. It is unbelievably powder soft, I think is the way of describing it, isn't it? And then of course you've got Night Owl.
Yeah. With his little, would you call that a cravat?
It has, he has got little, it's like a little velour cravat that he's got, isn't it, with a little love heart detailing.
But he's not a giggler. And is that because he's a night owl and he doesn't want to wake anyone up?
Fast asleep.
Yeah.
I think if he'd have been night owl with his mouth open, he'd have been snoring. Yeah. We'd have had to put a little snoring module in there, wouldn't we? But yeah, absolutely beautiful. And again, those grey tones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got the sculptured plush that we've used on there.
Is that bit?
It is indeed. So you can see there's two colours that are running through there. It's got a dark base and this beautiful grey tipping on top. And it's sort of almost, if you can imagine, carved in. You know when you would imagine like a little tortoise shell, and you can see the definition of the tortoise shell on top, and it's almost got like this carving that's in there, very sort of reminiscent of that. And again, a little panda. We always know it's a panda because it's got little teardrop markings around his eyes that you can see there. So that is absolutely gorgeous. Two of our Plumo characters, and then I think we've got a third, which is up there.
Yes.
So we'll pop them all down here, wrecking the display, aren't we?
Right. I think I might have to stand up for this one. This one here.
Now, if you're very tactile as a collector, I know that, Sophie, you always go for the super snuggly ones. Yeah. Tell me what you think about 40 Winks.
So soft, so soft. Like so you said, that's powder soft. I think this is the very definition of powder soft.
It's really hard in all the years that I've been doing this. I know Will's the same. The hardest thing to explain is how something feels.
Yeah.
There's not a word in existence, I think, that describes exactly how that feels.
You literally get lost, just like you thought I was doing a bit of a trance then.
That's it. Super, super comforting. And I love his name.
40 Winks?
40 Winks.
Yeah.
So if you're going for 40 Winks, it means you're going for a little nap. You're just going to have sort of 20 minutes. 40 Winks. Minutes? That's what William says is 40 Winks. I don't know, he could have been lying all these years.
I'm about an hour.
Quick 20 minutes, quick refresh, and you can go in. But again, I think that's lovely. And there's a lot of the Plumo bears this year that we've named, as you know, Early Bird, Night Owl. We've got 40 Winks, Siesta, Doze that we're going to meet in one of the future videos. And then a couple of delicious guilt-free treats that we popped in there. But love this, love to see, you know, the bears come out like that. I love the fact that we've used lots of gorgeous giggler detailing. Again, very complicated pattern. They're limited globally to 1,000 worldwide, so you won't see too many. I should imagine these are going to be quite tricky to find. Yeah, I know. I know, exactly, but it's that feel for me. It's the way that it makes me feel when I'm sat cuddling a bear like 40 Winks.
Lovely bright colours in all of them as well, I think, this year.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Now, I spy, I think, just one more bear before we get onto the last signature piece. Our other little Isabel bear there, the little pink bear. There we go. I'm not so sure we've done this one. Just double check there's nothing else hiding.
How do you pronounce this? Raphaelite. Raphaelite.
That's it.
Raphaelite.
Yeah, Raphaelite. It's been really, really nice. We've got Renaissance and Raphaelite.
And Rococo, I believe.
Rococo and Baroque. So these were little art movements. You know, when you see artists, they're all featuring different art movements. You know, they were around at different times. We thought it was nice, again, because of the clock tower, and it was all about time, to sort of list these art movements and all the different ones that we've got. So at the moment, you can see on your knee, we've got Raphaelite, absolutely gorgeous, these soft pinky tones that we've got in there. Complete blend of different colours as well, Sophie, isn't it?
Yeah, lots of pinks again. Oh, and I've just seen on the back, they've got some pearl buttons, is it?
Little pearl buttons.
Clasp, I don't know if I could...
Yep. Flip around and then you can see the little pearl button detailing. And again, her little accessory in her head fascinator.
Gorgeous. Handmade again?
All handmade. These are hand cut in the factory. We've chosen beads. They've been painted, decorated, and then obviously we've applied all of the little beading with jewellery wire. So everything has been hand created. I love that. You can't purchase these anywhere else. It's just all of the different little components that we've put together. And it's the same here with Rococo. You see it's slightly different pile length, lifted the ears a little, so the ear placement's not quite as low as the Raphaelite one, but a whole blend, I'll take my hand away, you can see, patchwork bear of these beautiful sort of dark, deep elephant greys, these lilacs, the aubergine colours that run through there. Absolutely gorgeous. Got additional striping on the nose. Lots of different details that you're going to see close up once you get Bear home. We've also hand decorated the antique lace ruff, and again, a handmade accessory that we've got. So again, clever use of colour that we've got there. All of the beading. If I turn it over, you can see how much work actually goes into this. It's all the jewellery wire which has been threaded through. There.
Wow. Looks like a star sign.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you look at those. Absolutely gorgeous. So, I think that was the last two of the Isabel collection, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which leaves just one more bear for me to talk about. The last of the characters that we will be producing in Q2, which will be out before the end of June. So I get really, really giddy. I was just, So of course this year we've done our Down the Rabbit Hole collection, as I like to call it, Alice and some of the characters. Now we haven't necessarily focused in on the obvious ones, not all of them the obvious ones. So of course the two footmen, one of my most favourite illustrations in the book. We have the fish and the frog footman. So here is the fish footman. Now these are limited, as we know, so there's not going to be that many around. We did focus him on the launch video, but I just wanted to give you a slightly longer look. You can see he's got the open mouth, gorgeous giggler look there, but we deepened it so that you can actually see inside of his little mouth there. You've got these lovely wide fish eyes. How huge they are. Beautiful blues in there. He's got the doll wig. Obviously his little trimmed hat. That you can see as well. If I just turn him round, you can see his little fishy face there. And then on the back as well, he's got his little tail coat, where we've given him this beautiful sort of fish ruffling there to create the coat like that. But also his little tail. So through his little pantaloons there.
Oh.
Every single attention to detail that you can imagine. Love these. A little bit like the Wind in the Willows that we did a couple of years ago. These beautiful clothed characters, all storybook characters. Like I say, it's probably not the one you would have thought we'd have done first, but we do have the White Rabbit, the Dormouse, the Frog and the Fish Footman out this year. Now, everybody knows I absolutely adore my Alice, so it will be no secret, and this is the only time I will let out a secret. I am absolutely sure, no need to ask, that we will be doing more characters from this collection. But not necessarily the obvious ones.
Oh, okay.
You know, so really, really cool. Loving the signature this year. It's not that I don't love it any other year, but I particularly enjoyed doing this year because of the Alice characters. Now, like I say, I know he's a little different. Very short supply. He's going to be limited. So, yeah. What else can I say about him apart from he's gorgeous? Order quick. And otherwise, I'm going to buy them all.
His outfits can't be removed?
Yeah, they are there. They could be removed, but I mean, to me, when it's like that and it's so detailed, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean to say that you can't, you know, so yeah, absolutely beautiful. Thrilled to bits. So that is Q2. I know, we're like this is Q2. Lots and lots still to meet, but I really hope that you've had an more of an in-depth look at the bears. Obviously, we are running the virtual showroom appointments where you can get an even deeper, immersive look at each and every character. And of course, you're going to hear the wonderful Anka, Bev, and fabulous Rosa talking about the bears in much greater detail than we have today on all of the QVC shows. So Q1 and Q2, tick. So we'll have to think about how we're going to do Q3 and Q4 soon, don't we?
Yeah.
It won't be long, we promise. But we hope that you found that useful. Please put lots of likes on there, especially around the characters that we've been talking about, the ones that are most loved. And we'll see you soon. Take care. We actually find designing the catalogues and the covers and choosing the colour schemes and everything just as exciting as the collection. It's always the last thing that we do with the collection. once we've named and themed and sorted all of that out. But the collector's catalogues are collectible in their own right.
They are indeed.
Yeah, we've learned that now. There's always people looking for them. It's like I say, if you're a Best Friends Club member, you should have received yours. If you're not, they are also available to purchase on our website, so do take a look. I'm quite an old-fashioned sort of girl. I like my coffee table copy sat there at home, so I could keep going through and filling out my little bear wish list in the back, giving you hints.
I know, right?
Even I have to give hints. Even I put my wish list in with Will, because it's much nicer when you surprise me and buy me a little bear, isn't it?